joining me for yet another exciting episode of Nigerians Abroad. Um, it's so wonderful what we're going to be having today on the show. A lot of education, a lot of lessons to be learned from our guest on the show today. But let me encourage you to please do want to subscribe to our channel, Africa Network Television, on YouTube. Africa Network Television. Do subscribe, watch our content, like them, share them, and leave your comments behind. We would love to read them. And also, you follow us on all social media platforms, on Facebook, on Instagram, and on Twitter. Now, X is Africa Network Television. Today on the show, we're going to go a bit into fashion. We'll talk about millinery and all of that with our guest who has been in Ghana for about 11 to 12 years and doing business. She's married to a man of God, also a Nigerian, that we'll be talking to later on the show here on Nigerians Abroad. But today, I have in the studios with me, Madame Peace Marshall.
Thank you very much.
All right, but she's also Chidinma Adogo.
Yes, please.
That's her Igbo name, actually. She's going to be telling us the meaning of her name as we did it with other guests that we had on the show. So, Madame, good day and how are you?
Good afternoon. I'm good, and you?
I'm well. Let's start by learning the meaning of your name, Chidinma Adogo.
Chidinma means God is good. As we all know, God is good.
Okay.
That's the meaning of Chidinma. Adugo. Ada is a name given to first daughters in Igbo land. Then Ugo is an eagle. So if you put it together, you have the daughter of an eagle.
Oh, wow. So if you did not know, anytime you hear Chidinma now, you know that God is good.
Yeah.
And anytime you hear Adugo, it's a daughter of an eagle.
Yes, please.
So our guest today is a daughter of an eagle. And for that matter, I mean, Nigeria is the country that has an eagle, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so on the Accord of Arm. How has it been in Ghana for the past years?
Good. So far, so good.
From basic, good.
Well, it's good because I've been in Ghana for quite a number of years, and I can say my stay in Ghana has been good. Like I said, it's not like it has been without challenges, but God has been good. So my stay has been good.
So would you want to talk about the challenges first before we come to the successes, or the successes before we come to the challenges?
Okay, we can take the challenges first.
Okay, but let's start
because-
from you coming to Ghana. The decision to travel to Ghana, settle in Ghana. Where did it start from?
Okay, it started immediately. I got married. I got married to Mr. Marshall, who was working with Glow, as at the time we got married, and Glow transferred him to Ghana. And as a wife, I shouldn't stay. I believe I shouldn't stay away from my husband, so I had to come down with him after a few months of he living in Lagos. So I had to relocate. So I can say it's because of the transfer he had from the company. I had to follow him down to Ghana.
Okay. And then, so that's about 12 years ago.
Yes, please.
So how was it? I mean, you relocating to Ghana, and then you are new in Ghana, a new country. How were you able to, I mean, transition into your settlement?
Okay. It wasn't really an easy thing. It wasn't easy because as at then, I didn't know anybody in Ghana. We didn't know people. My husband's case was better because when he goes to work, he has his colleagues, but when we were staying, it was just us, and I was very fortunate. I had a friend whose husband was also a colleague to my husband. So he was the friend, she was like a sister, she was like my neighbor, so we clicked well. We were like two sisters from different mothers. So we staying together made it a lot easier for me to actually cope as at that time, and the transition was not really that difficult because when I met her, it was like, wow, I rapport well with her, and the togetherness was a bit of a consolation because this is a woman that left where she was used to and coming to a land that she knew nobody. So that was it on that part. Then secondly, when we also came to Ghana, we also had another opportunity to serve God in an environment which was also new to us. So we took the work of God to a higher level, because while we were in Nigeria, we were serving God, yes. But when we came to Ghana, we had a reason to go deeper into the service of God. The reason is because my husband, like I said, is also a pastor in Ghana. So the service of God was one part of the things that made my stay in Ghana not too difficult, because I saw it as an opportunity to serve God, and that kept us very busy as well.
It was not too difficult, but a little difficult. What are some of the things that made it difficult?
All right, the first thing I can say was the language barrier, because I didn't really know anything about Tree. I couldn't speak Ghana. I couldn't speak Ewe. And right there in our church locality, we didn't really have much Nigerians there. It was more of Ghanaians, and it was a bit challenging to relate with them because of the language barrier. And it was also a local environment, not really that you could find the educated people that you can say we can really flow with English. So what we did was to start learning the language bit by bit, so that when we want to communicate with them, at least we can speak the bra, cobra, so small ones like that.
And now you rattle the language.
Somehow.
Okay. So what are some of the challenges, apart from these? I mean, you came here and then you came to start your business here.
Yeah. I didn't start a business here. When I got married in 2011, and
Okay.
in the early 2012, they transferred my husband to Ghana. But while I was in Lagos, so before I even got married, I had the desire and the passion to learn how to make hats, because it's something I love so much. So I was looking for an opportunity to learn it. So immediately I got married. The first few months of my marriage, I decided to go and learn it, not knowing that the transfer will come soon. So I learned how to make hats for almost a year in Lagos. I started in Lagos. So when I came down to Ghana, I noticed that in Ghana they don't really wear hats like we used to wear in Nigeria. So it made it a bit difficult for me. So I would say I had to keep the business aside, because I didn't really see people wearing it like that. So I kept the business on hold, but business is something in me. I am not that kind of person that can just fold arms and stay. No, I didn't grow up like that. I must get something to do, no matter how it is. So I started it in Nigeria. So after years in Ghana, little by little, I started doing it. But one thing I didn't fail to do was to do for myself. At least I knew that this one, I am not buying it. So I had to be my own my own marketer. Yes, I started with myself. Every Sunday I made sure at least I wore something very nice to church. So with that, little by little, people started noticing that you're always wearing this. Who is making it for you? So from there, I'll start telling them that's what I do. Unfortunately, many people loved it. I would like to learn it. I would like to know how to do it. I said, oh, with all pleasure, I'll teach. Some for free, some paid. So that was how I started.
In Ghana, and how?
Yeah.
So the people received it really well, from the way you explained it.
Not really well, because it wasn't something they are used to. So, but because of the way I was wearing it and the few people that was also patronizing me, I made sure I educate them the way they can wear it and rock it very well. And they really did well. So I am always fortunate. Anytime any of my clients wears it, she will come back saying, 2 people want it, 3 people want it. So it was like anytime I do a job, it's like I'm sending that job on an errand, and that job will come back with multiple orders. So that is how it's picked up.
Okay. So, I mean, with all these things that you're saying, at a point, you decided to fully launch yourself into business in Ghana,
Yeah.
and you have been operating for some years now.
Yes, please.
What are the challenges, the real-time business challenge that you've faced in Ghana?
I really faced challenges in Ghana. I will start with rejection, or what we can call objections, because penetrating into the markets wasn't easy, because you are coming to meet people that are not used to these things. So sometimes you do a wonderful job and you see people saying things like, it's not nice, this is not beautiful, hey, who is using this? Like, they don't use it here, where will you wear it to? And this is something like where I'm coming from, like every Sunday you see different designs, there's no way you go to church and you will not get inspirations on new designs to do. And it's like I was practically begging people that this is nice, when you wear it you will love it, this and that. So I saw it as an objection. You know, when you make something nice and you take it to people and the person will say, oh no, I'm not interested, for reasons best known to them. But for me, I think they are business objections. But I didn't allow that to weigh me down. I didn't allow that to discourage me. I continued, because I know that what I am bringing is something they will eventually come to love. So I didn't allow the objections or the rejections to stop me from even making more. I spent so much because I'll just go and buy materials. Nobody ordered. I just go to the market and buy materials and make it. Sometimes it will be there for weeks and I'll decide to wear it myself. And I always notice that anytime I decide to wear it, that is when somebody will say, what you're wearing is beautiful. So, but it has been there, I've been advertising, and nobody sees it as something beautiful. But the time and the moment I will decide to wear it, it's like they've not been seeing it all this while. So that's the first challenge. Then, like I mentioned before, the language was a very big challenge to me. Then the next challenge I faced will be on the training part. They didn't really appreciate the training as something they should pay for, especially when it comes to online. They think you have come to scam them, and hearing you are a Nigerian, you see there's this perception about Nigerians that they have come again, something like that. Like maybe she's not real, maybe she has come to scam us, 419, you know, those perceptions. But I made up my mind when I came. I said, no, this is just a perception. The people believing this, we've not really had a close rapport, so they don't really know me. So it's now my responsibility to make them see the other side of Nigerians, to make them see that every Nigerian is not bad. So every of my relationship with students, with customers, I make sure I keep clean hands. So just to make sure, or to ensure in my own corner, I correct that impression. And to the glory of God, I don't think I've had encounter or I've had experience where somebody bought my course or maybe trained with me and complained or has bad stories to tell. I know we are not all perfect, but then I try my best to give them value for the money they pay, whether you are buying a course or the designs.
All right, well, very good to hear. I mean, one of the few Nigerians who are really making sure that they help you raise that negative impression or tag on Nigerians living in the diaspora. Stay here with us. This is Nigerians Abroad, and we are having a conversation with Madam Peace Marshall, who is into millinery, and for that matter, into fashion. She does millinery and accessories. So after this break, she's going to help us learn of what the pieces that we have here with us and where we can take them to. Stay here. This is Nigerians Abroad. watching Nigerians abroad on Africa Network Television. Please do want to subscribe to our channel and share our contents. Leave your comments behind in the comment section. And you follow us on all social media platforms, on Facebook, on Instagram, and on Twitter, which is now X. It is Africa Network Television. My guest today is the Executive Director for Shalom Millinery and Accessories. She's been in Ghana for some time. She started this. This is all about skill training. So this session of the interview, I mean, it's more or less like going to be an entrepreneurship education for you out there watching us. And she's going to tell us how much goes into the making of these things, these nice things that we're seeing with us, because I can see a fascinator, I can see a gele, and a lot more that she's going to be explaining to us. And I just want to know, do you need a very big factory to start this, or big capital, huge capital?
Thank you very much. It will interest you to know that you don't need much capital to start, and that is actually why I love the business. Apart from doing this as a business, what gives me joy is the way people pick up, raise funds from this business. Because I always tell people, headwear making is a very lucrative business. The only challenge is that many people jump into it without learning the basics. But once you get the basics right, you will realize that you don't need much capital. So you can start from a corner in your house. I started from a corner in my house. I started from my store. Yes, because when I came from Nigeria, I brought most of my materials with that passion and that zeal to come and continue in Ghana. So I started from that little corner in my house. So this is an encouragement to anybody that wants to start the business, or you have the desire to go into headwear making. I want to encourage you, you don't need much capitals, you don't need a factory. You might not even necessarily need a store. But if you have a store, no problem. But if you don't have, that shouldn't be an excuse. You can start with low capital and from the comfort of your home.
So, I mean, what you're wearing is very nice. That's also a fascinator.
Yes, please.
It's very nice.
Thank
So,
you.
let's look at the time that is spent in making this.
For the time, when you are doing, or when you are doing what you love, the time doesn't really count. But because it's a business, we have to factor in the time. Yes. So it doesn't really take much time, like I said, if you know the basics. But if you are still a learner or a beginner, you will struggle. Why? Because you don't really know the techniques that will make it faster for you. But for me, if I want to do this, in less than 2 hours, 3 hours, I'll make one.
Wow.
Yes, please.
Okay, so let's go to the first one.
Yeah.
To your right.
Okay, this beautiful one here is a turban. You can see many people love this because it's very classy. I personally love the class, and many people that have been buying it from me are really people of class. Yes, and it's made with a fabric called Paradise. Many people use it for weddings, bridesmaids, like maid of honor, they order for it a lot. Then many people also buy it for special occasions like outdoorings, engagements. You can use it for any peaceful, special and happy occasion. Yes, it's very nice. It's a turban.
It is a turban.
Yes.
And it's very expensive.
It's not very expensive. With 200 cedis, you get this.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so we come to this.
Yeah,
This
this
is
is a fascinator.
Yeah.
It's very beautiful. As you can see, you can wear it to weddings, or like I said, there shouldn't be restrictions to where you wear your fascinators to. You can send it to church, you can wear it to weddings or special occasions.
And then we come to this turbanator.
The wine one is a turbanator because it's a combination of a turban and a fascinator. That's where we derive the name turbanator, because it's a combination of two. You have a fascinator and you have a turban inside. Though this one is not detachable, we have the ones that are detachable, meaning you can use the turban separately and you can use the fascinator separately. Like what I'm wearing, I can make a turban and wear it on a turban. That way, we also wear it like that. It becomes a turbanator because it's a fascinator and a turban. And that is the aim thing, is the trending thing now.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then this is also a fascinator.
That's
right?
also a
Well, we
fascinator.
come to
Then this is Gilly. Many people love this. I think that's my best seller for 2023 because I had many orders from outside Ghana and not in Nigeria too. Many people bought it from abroad, and it was my best seller for 2023 because I had some people selling them on Amazon, and they are mostly from abroad. So I sold a lot of it in 2023, and here in Ghana, many people appreciate it, they love it, because it's not very expensive like the real gele. What I mean by real gele, there is another fabric we used to make gele, that's the ashoke, the Nigerian fabric. But because it's very expensive, when you use it to make gele, people complain a lot. And we all appreciate the economy we are in. So I had to come with another technique of using a cheaper fabric, but that doesn't make it cheap, and that doesn't mean it is of low quality. I try my best to make it as classy as the ashoke gele, but because many people cannot afford to buy the ashoke gele, we settle for this. And many Ghanaians, especially bridesmaids, during engagements, they've been appreciating it so much, and that helped me to sell a lot of it.
So besides these things, which are the other ones that you do?
We do the headbands, like the ones we do with crystal beads. We use them to design headbands that are also very classy, and you can send that one. People use it mostly for outdoorings. I couldn't come with much of it because I didn't know if I'll get a space to display all, but we have a whole lot of them. The headband is also very nice. We do them with crystal beads and other materials.
Okay. So you have been doing this for, if you learned it in Nigeria, it means you've been doing it for more than a decade, more than 10 years.
Yes, 11 years, and still counting.
How do you find this business?
Like I said, it's a business I love so much because the passion is there. And I love it because it's a creative business. Sometimes when I'm there and I'm trying to design one, you see, sometimes you while you are working, you start getting inspirations that you'll be like, so if I do this like this, I'll come up with this. And God has been so faithful to me. Sometimes I'll be lying down, or maybe I'll be sleeping, an idea will come, I'll quickly try it out, and I'll get something very beautiful. Like what I'm wearing, I created a course on this, but when I was trying to do one for myself, I noticed that, wow, I'm coming up with something different, because I have a course on this where I taught how to make about 15 designs of fascinators using this material. We call it crinoline. So that course is a course, I'll call it my signature course, because most of the things there are inspirations that I got myself. And many times, many people are scared of this particular material because you don't really, it's a very difficult material to work with. But coming up with these beautiful ideas and beautiful fascinators makes people feel like, wow, so somebody can use crinoline and make beautiful fascinators like this. So many people are still buying that course till today, and it gives me joy. Though in that course, if you look at the course, you will not see this particular design, because that's why I was trying to what I was trying to explain about inspiration. I was trying to do a design I taught in that course, and I came up with this. So it is a creative business, and I've not seen any of my students regretting starting up the business, because I teach from the scratch. And I don't just teach you designs, I also teach you how to sell. I share marketing tips, sales and marketing tips, because I notice that many times people will learn this and they will still be broke. So I asked questions. I noticed that the problem is that people teach designs, but they don't teach you how you can market and sell these things. And that is why my own is different, because I don't just teach you how to make them. I teach you what you do so that you can sell, because that is where my joy comes. Not just you paying me for the course, but you achieving your purpose for paying for that course, meaning I give you value for the money you pay.
So, with all of these, you've been in it. How do you feel about the youth, most especially young women, complaining about jobs? Knowing very well that you can just commit some few months or weeks to this, you can learn it and you make a living out of it.
Seriously, when I hear people complaining there are no jobs, I just wish I can call them to come and learn this. But sometimes when you are calling them like that, it's like you just want to sell your course. But I know deep down that this is a skill somebody will learn and shouldn't be broke. So when I hear people complaining of no jobs, I just smile. I was sharing something with my husband this morning, and I was like, how will people be complaining of no jobs? I don't like hearing it. When there are things you can learn, just like you said, for a few weeks or even a month, and you have a source of income from the comfort of your home. So why will people still be complaining there are no jobs? I have a student that finished last year. She was actually hawking. She hawks herb buns, but she came to me. She said she wants to learn this. I said, okay, I can teach you. She complained of the language. She couldn't speak English. I said, oh no, you come. Even if it means me using sign language, I will teach you how to make this. When she was leaving my place in October, I was in tears. She was in tears. The reason is because before she left me, she made the money she paid me to learn. And she was happy she came to learn this. And I told her, don't leave my place the same. I ensured she opened a TikTok account before she left. I encouraged her to take her Facebook very seriously before she left. So she left a better person. So sometimes I wish youths will buy the idea of getting a skill such as this that will keep them comfortable. I believe nobody should go hungry with this skill. And it's not limited to ladies. A guy can also learn it and make a living out of it.
You are passionate about helping humanity make a living. What inspires it?
I believe so much in human lives. I believe in human resource. Yes, in as much as we are in business to make money, but I believe in building lives. And that is what I have done here in Ghana. Because like I told you, aside from the business, I also empower especially teenagers. Because my capacity as a pastor's wife has afforded me the opportunity to organize some free trainings that empowered girls growing up. And it gives me so much joy to hear from them, mommy, I made this, I wore it to church and people loved it. It gives me a lot of joy. And I believe in giving people fish, but I believe more in teaching them how to fish. And that is what I do. So it gives me joy.
Our gallant men and women travel far and near in search of greener pastures. Many stories are told of them, full of lies or less truth. But a new era is here for us to tell our own stories, full and not in parts, in truth and not in lies. An opportunity to add our voices to the developmental discourse of our own motherland, even from the diaspora.
A dedicated platform for Nigerians living in the diaspora and making their motherland proud. So join us on Nigerians Abroad, inspiring generations.
Thanks for still staying with us. Just note that my guest today, Madam Peace Marshall, who is the Executive Director for Shalom Millinery and Accessories, when coming to Ghana, did not come empty-handed, but came with this and has impacted so much life with what she's doing. This is indeed a testament of what's good Nigerians are giving to their host countries. She's doing so much well, and you can only have this on Nigerians Abroad. Do well to subscribe to our channel, African Network Television. Follow us on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Facebook, on Instagram, and on Twitter, which is now X. It is African Network Television. So with my guest in the studio, And I just want to know, I mean, with all that she's been sharing, I just want to know how she feels when she hears of, she's a Nigerian that is given to society so much. She's careful about how she orders her steps. So, Madam Peace, your name tells us all that you are very peaceful. So, when you hear of Nigerians into bad company, affecting society negatively, and what have you, how does it feel with you?
Seriously, I don't feel good about it. I don't feel good about it. And I wish my brothers and my sisters, I mean Nigerians, will wake up and do everything within our reach to stop this bad influence or negative perceptions that people have about us. Yes, because like a person, it doesn't give me joy. And I made up my mind that I'll try everything I can to be a different person. Yes, and to the glory of God, like I said earlier, I've not heard bad experience so far. Yeah, I've heard many stories about how bad Nigerians are. I'm not here to defend Nigerians because I know in everywhere you go to, you meet good people and you meet bad people. So it's not like I'm saying Nigerians are good, Nigerians are bad. But I'm here to encourage Nigerians. Once you find yourself anywhere outside Nigeria, just know that you are an ambassador of Nigeria. And Nigeria is a great nation. We shouldn't add to the negative stories we've been hearing. Once you come to a place, once you go to a place, be very valuable to that country. Be very valuable to wherever you find yourself. It has a way to impact positively on the country Nigeria and on us Nigerians. So I would tell you, wherever you are, beware or be intentional about how you live your life, the kind of impact you make in your environment, whether positive or negative. But this is a clear call for us all to live a positive life and make positive impacts wherever we find ourselves. Thank you.
As a matter of fact, you have also suffered the consequences of some of these negativity.
Very true.
Yes, because you came and then, I mean, from the beginning of our interview, you mentioned how people were tagging you with 419, with scam and what have you.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, it could, even if it's not you, this is something that could affect a family member. It could be a daughter of yours, a son of yours, what have you. You don't know where they will be next in the journey of life. So wherever we find ourselves, just as Madam Peace said, let's make sure we leave positive footprints
and build lives.
and build
Don't
lives.
don't be biased. Don't say because they are saying we are this, so I will not give out what I have. No. I have trained many people and I can't count how many Nigerians have been partakers of my trainings. They are mostly Ghanaians. But it gives me joy because I have this understanding that it is God that rewards. And when God wants to reward, He will not reward me because I'm a Nigerian, I impacted Nigerians. No. I am a Nigerian, I am here in Ghana, and I am eating the good of the land. So I should also get a way of impacting the land positively. And that is what I am doing.
All right. So let's talk of the future with Peace Marshall and Shalom Millinery and Accessories. What does the future hold for us?
Well, I have high hopes that God is taking us somewhere greater than where we are today. Today we have been able to cover grounds, but I know there is opportunity up there. I know God is taking us far than what we are having now. I'm looking at a future where it will be greater than what it is today, where I will have students all over the world, because I'm believing God, and God has promised me it's going to be a global brand. So I'm working towards being a global brand where when Shalom is mentioned, it will not be like, who is Shalom? What is she into? I want to work hard and make the kind of impact that the globe will hear of Shalom. And that is what I am working towards.
Okay, talk of, making it global and get a lot of students all over the world. How can people find you? Where can they find you?
Physically, I have a physical location here in Ghana, and that is at Malam, Bawijayo bus stop. Yes. But I am also on social media, on Facebook as Shalom Millinery and Accessories. I have a Facebook business page, that's Shalom Millinery and Accessories. And I also share values on my Facebook personal profile. Yes, you can't go to my profile and not get a lot of values. I share values on tips, encouragements, like I inspire people and motivate people through write-ups. I share content that motivates, inspires, and informs people. So you can also reach me on my personal profile, Peace Adugu Ofo. Then on Instagram, Shalom Millinery and Accessories. On TikTok, Shalom Millinery and Accessories. And I can also be reached on WhatsApp through 0555-113-442. That's my WhatsApp line. So if you're not in Ghana,
0555
yes,
113-442.
That's my
so
WhatsApp
if you're not
line.
in Ghana, you add plus
233.
plus 233. All right. Wow. What are your last words before we close on the show with you? What are your last words?
I want to thank God for how far He has brought me, and I am making a commitment to God that I will not stop making impact in this land. As long as I remain in the land of Ghana, I will continue to add values to lives as long as I come in contact with them. I love living lives changed to better than how I met them, and that is what I work with: changing lives, impacting lives, and building lives through my skill.
All right, thank you very much for being on the show today. It's a very lovely one and exciting one. We appreciate you. We appreciate everything that you're doing.
Thank you.
And if we have to go through again, this is
A
a turban, this is a
A
fascinator,
fascinator.
a turbanator, a fascinator, and then a gilly.
Gilly, yeah.
These are things that Madam Peace Marshall is doing with less capital, with no big factory, and you can do it too. We complain of jobs, and this is a skill that once you acquire, your office, your company is on your fingertips.
Exactly.
That's one thing that we must know as people, as youth. Your company, your everything is on your fingertips. So wherever you travel to, all you need is to get the materials to make the fascinator. All that you need is to get the materials you need to make a turban, a gilly, and that's it. You are business on the go, everywhere you go. Thank you very much for joining us on Nigerians Abroad today. Please do well to find Madam Peace and the Shalom Millinery and Accessories on all social media platforms, on Facebook, on Instagram, and on Twitter, right?
TikTok.
On TikTok, on Facebook, on Instagram, and on TikTok. And your numbers again, let's call it together. It's 0555
113
113
442.
442. So the number is 0555 113 442. If you are not in Ghana, you add plus 233. And of course, you can benefit from her online classes or virtual classes where she teaches the making of these things, and you can learn it anywhere you are in this part of the world. Once you are on this earth, you can learn it and then you can do business with it. Thank you very much once again for staying with us all through this. This is Nigerians Abroad, and we say we are inspiring generations.